let it drop. Let it drop.
Welcome back to From Change to Change. I am Consuela Gaines, better known as Sway.
And I'm Marcus Simmons, better known as Chachi.
And we are Voice of the Experience, also known as Votes. And today we have with us a gentleman who has been doing some amazing work. I know some of y'all out there need expungements, but don't know how to get that. So today our conversation is around second chance. This is Second Chance Month. How appropriate it is for us to be talking about expungements in Second Chance Month. Welcome, Mr. Kevin Dalcourt.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. It's good seeing y'all again.
Anytime, brother, always.
Absolutely.
And I should say I am a proud member of
And he is a very proud member. And thank you so much for all that you do. So, Second Chance Month, right? I think that some people pay attention to it, some people don't. Some people get it, others won't. Can you let our folks know about why Second Chance is important to you and the work that you're doing?
Oh, second chances, especially for people with arrests and people that have convictions or formerly incarcerated. Right now, second chances can be something that's symbolic, but it's not to me, it's real. Because I know when I left the gates from prison, right, all of those things followed me. For instance, the disparity at work, housing, and also education, and the clients that we work with. And for me, second chances means that the person look at you beyond your conviction or what happened to the worst part of your life, right? And they see your humanity, they see your dignity, right? And not what happened to you in the past. And do not judge you on that, whether you're in the workforce, whether you're going to school trying to get some education, okay, and also housing, right?
Right.
Because it's very tough for people that are impacted by the justice system to navigate those things. It's very, very open. You know, it's really hard to get a job. 90% or 90% of the employers, they run background checks. Landlords run background checks. And a lot of those people who have arrests or have criminal records, it's really hard to just navigate the day-to-day life.
Yeah. It is hard.
I'd like to go back to something you said about being recognized for the worst part of your life. Sometimes prison is a result of the worst part of your life. Sometimes prison isn't the worst part of your life.
I agree.
You know, prison can be, like for me, prison could be college.
Right.
You know, and had I not had this second chance, had Vote and my other, had Vote not given me this second chance, the world would have never gotten a chance to realize how auspicious I was, how sincere I was at fixing my community. Right. Same as Sweet.
Right. And I agree 100% because I know even while we were incarcerated, the community that we were with, we all helped. You were an inmate council. I was an inmate council, was able to help people get home, navigate the legal system, and also come home to do the same thing, because look at the wonderful work that you guys are doing.
Right.
And helping folks, in getting second chance.
So I'm curious to know with people that come to you about an expungement.
Yes.
What do people come to you the most about? Is it about?
I apologize.
It's okay.
Is it about arrest or is it about convictions, old convictions that are just haunting them, or what do people mostly need expungements for?
Sorry, it's a mixed bag.
Okay.
Everything that you mentioned, it's a mixed bag from, let's take arrest, right? For instance, let's say if you got arrested, the district attorney refused the charges, right? It still shows up as a criminal record. And let's go back to 90% of employers, they pull background checks.
Yes.
Education, universities, they pull background checks. Housing, they pull background checks.
Yeah.
So we see the barriers with our clients, and it's really, really hard for them to just navigate the day-to-day workings of their lives.
With them just trying to move ahead.
Right.
You know.
Basically trying to find work to just feed themselves, because I had a client a couple weeks ago. She had been with the company for 12 years, and that company got bought out or merged with another company. And the new company that took over ran a background check and told her, don't come back until that's fixed. And that charge was from back in the 90s. In the 90s, right?
Wow.
Recently,
It's beyond prosecution for that charge, but it's still over that person's head.
it is.
That's crazy.
At our expungement clinic in Opelousas, we were able to do one of the oldest charges that our organization had. Was a client from 1977, an arrest from 1977,
Not
which
even
was
a conviction.
it was not a conviction, it was an arrest
So
from
arrests
1977.
follow you forever unless you get it expunged.
Yes. Yes.
See, and I'm more than sure a lot of people don't know that.
Yo.
And that's probably why, because the employer doesn't always tell you why
They deny.
they denied or why they're, didn't want to give you a job offer.
Right.
And it's probably because of some arrests from when you were a teenager.
Right. Now I would always, again, I am not an attorney, just for information purposes only. The law states, though, let's say if you're denied and you're trying to figure it out, it says upon request. You can request the information from the employer of the reason for the denial. So they have to give you what they pulled, and they don't have to tell you, but they have to give you what they pulled and what they looked at, right? Most of the times it's the arrest, and you're gonna see, okay, that's what it is.
Okay, so you ask
You have
the
to request.
you can request the
Upon
employer
request.
what information they use for their denial process.
Right, and I believe that the law should be changed instead of upon request.
Right.
I think it should be upon denial, you should give them a
That
reason.
makes sense.
That way people can understand, because then what you do, you put the onus on them. And people, a lot of people are already shocked because they don't have the job.
And they wouldn't have applied in the first place
They know.
had they known that that arrest from years ago would stop them from getting that job.
Right?
Had they known, they would probably take steps to expunge it.
Yes.
Because I would imagine that if you weren't convicted, it should be easy to get it expunged.
What's easy because the
it's-
fee.
Again, it's a mixed bag again, and I don't mind explaining, because a lot of clients will call and say, "Hey, Kevin, it's dismissed. It's not there," and I have to explain to them an arrest in Louisiana is a criminal record until you expunge it, right? So, for instance, let's say if you just have an arrest on your record and you don't have a felony, right? Then you can use what's called a fee waiver. The law allows a fee waiver where you attach that fee waiver to the expungement, and you go to the district attorney, they sign, and that is waived.
Okay.
Right? But let's say we have clients, again, there's a mixture of things where they might have a felony, another charge with just an arrest only, the misdemeanor. The factor is if they have the felony, you can't use the fee waiver. Now, again, fortunately, in 2018, the legislature saw that, and the governor saw that there was not any movement on expungements because people couldn't afford fees. So now in the law, it's embedded the IFP, informal paupers, where you fill out your financial hardship, and then you can ask the judge to waive it because of the financial hardship. And it's at the judge's discretion. There's nothing guaranteed on that.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So there's nothing guaranteed. So for instance, let's say if you have a misdemeanor charge, right, then you can't use a fee waiver for the misdemeanor charge because it's a conviction.
Right.
Got it. So what does it look like for someone who has either a misdemeanor or a felony conviction? What does that fee look like for them if they are trying to get that felony expunged?
The fees are all the same. It's $550.
$550.
Yeah, and because it's tied into agencies, right? For instance, $250 goes to the state police.
Right.
And they do anywhere, if I'm not mistaken, anywhere between $9,000 and $12,000 a year. So you can take that amount and they pad that to their budget, right? Then you have the clerk of court. They get $200 of that. So a lot of the clerks use that money to pay their clerks, right? Which I believe in this just as a personal opinion. Instead of trying to get money on the backs of poor people, ask the legislature to increase what you get.
Right.
In my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Right.
So how could they, if they find themselves in that predicament, how can they get any type of reprieve, any type of, just leniency with the fee? Like how, I mean, are there any...
The IFP, again, the informal paupers, right? We've helped clients fill out the informal paupers. We have a lot of judges that are basically, they understand, and they do understand that, hey, look, if we can get this person back to work, there's more money that's going to come in. Right? So instead of we supporting them.
Right. So does it work as easy, as simple as it sounds?
No, it doesn't.
Right. Okay.
There are barriers. There's a lot of misinformation from agencies, right? So what we do, once we help the client fill out the paperwork, we give them instructions on how to file it so they don't have an attorney. It's done pro se, right? And so a lot of times they run into barriers where there may be misinformation from the district attorney's office. We've had clients, and it's not a knock on these agencies, I'm just giving facts of what we've been hearing or what's reported. Let's go back, we're not gonna talk about the arrest, we'll talk about convictions, misdemeanors, and felonies. So let's say, for instance, you do have a felony, right? You can't just go and file it after it's prepared. You have to go to the district attorney and get what's called a fee waiver. No, I'm sorry, not a fee waiver. A DA certification that certifies that you haven't been in trouble within that requisite time, because if you are, it resets your time. Right? So a lot of times we've had reports where the district attorneys lost our clients' paperwork. The clerks have lost our clients' paperwork and said that they've never came to file. So we've had that situation.
Start the process all over.
So we have to do it all over. And again, a most of our clients, I would say 90% are poor. They don't have the money. They'll scrounge their last money because they have to pay for the court minutes, for the bill of information. Then they have to get the arrest record, which they have to pay for, and they don't have the money. So once you get the arrest record, right, your 60 days start to count down. So what we try to do is in our clinics, we try to give as much time so they can have enough time to go and file it, right? But any other barriers or misinformation, I mean, will upset that 60 days, right? Where they would have to get it again, and a lot of them, they can't afford.
Wow. So what is the waiting period? Because I get asked that question a lot. You know, folks ask, well, I have a felony theft charge, and I completed my time about 5 years ago. I finished my sentence for that. What do the waiting periods look like?
For misdemeanors, it's 5 years, right?
And when you say 5 years, that's from the time
they've completed their sentence, including probation or parole.
Got it.
Okay, that's when that clock starts. Now, let's say for misdemeanors, if someone or if the attorney has them or pled them guilty under what's called Article 894.1, instead of waiting the 5 years, we usually construct what's called a set aside, where you ask the judge to set aside that conviction. They don't have to wait the 5 years. Usually it takes about 30 days for the judge to sign that. And then it opens the way for your expungement, so you don't have to wait to 5 years. Now, on the felony, typically it's 10 years that you have to wait after you complete your sentence, including probation and parole.
Right.
Okay. Now, if your attorney pled you out on Article 893, right? It's the same thing, the set aside, so that you don't have to wait the 10 years. Now, if you have a first offender pardon, right? As soon as you finish your sentence, you get that pardon, we can attach it, and you don't have to wait. But there are a lot of offenses that cannot be expunged under Louisiana laws. It's like you have violent crimes that can't be, but there is an exception. The Louisiana Constitution and law also allows 8 violent crimes. I think one of them is aggravated battery, second-degree battery, purse snatching, and a few others that the law allows for that, right? But you still have to wait 10 years. You get a first offender pardon if that's your first offense, but you can't use, the legislature won't allow you to use your first offender pardon for that violent crime. You have to wait 10 years, which I believe is ludicrous. Because you can vote and most of your civil rights is restored, but you can't find a job.
Wow.
Which I don't get that. It doesn't, the nexus doesn't connect to me.
Yeah. So anytime someone reaches out to us, I send them directly to you.
We appreciate it.
Because ever we don't provide expungements or that type of service. How did you become so passionate about expungements of all things?
Again, I in prison, I was an inmate counsel. I knew the charge that I had. I was on a non-unanimous jury verdict. I couldn't get it expunged. So my wife would come to visit, and my face was very long, and I was just tipped off about what happened to me. And she told me to just find the positive in this. And I said, you know what? I want to learn the law. So she started giving me, she bought law books. She bought my paralegal courses. So I was in these detention centers, and I remember my first motion that I handwrote, right? I was in one of the detention centers, and this guy had a 10-year sentence, and he was like, wait a minute, they were supposed to run it together. They're running it wild. So I just kind of took a look at it, and I said, wait a minute, the record's silent. And he was like, what? I was like, no, the record's silent. He didn't say anything. That's why DLC ran it wild. He has to pronounce. So I said, look, I'm just going to write it, because they don't have the typewriters or computers.
Right.
So I just wrote the hand motion, and he mailed it. And the judge granted a hearing. And the judge, from what he told me, I wasn't there, from what he told me, he said when he got to his case, he pulled up the legal pad with my bad handwriting, and he stopped the court and he said, look, all of you lawyers and district attorneys, I want you guys to take a lesson from this. You see, he just asked and he put the law. None of that legal jargon, right?
Kept it
he just
simple.
asked. So he told him, he said, I'm going to take a chance on you. So I'm going to run concurrent. And within a week, he was home.
Wow.
So then I lobbied to get to the prisons, but my time wasn't long enough. But I thank my state representative, Terry Landry, who lobbied to get me to Hunts.
Okay.
And I became an inmate counsel. And as you know, while I was there, I was able to reverse 8 life sentences and was able to reduce over 30 people's sentences at their home.
That's some amazing.
So, yeah. So when I got home, I wanted to have the same impact, right? And I started working with an organization that did expungement. And, that was a new area of law that I found interesting. The thing that I really found interesting, that there were people that didn't even go to prison that had arrests that were impacted. And I was like, this is crazy, right? So what happened, the budget kind of shrinked out with the organization that I was with. And we were getting calls for expungements. And we had legislatures, their constituents were calling them, and they were like, hey, Kevin, you need the service. So my wife and I, we co-founded Justice Reform Initiative. And we've been doing pretty good. This is our 3rd year. Our first year, we did 75 expungement motions.
Oh, wow.
The second year, we did 150. The last year, we did over 400.
Wow.
So, and hopefully we can get more done and to have more clinics. We've been doing a lot of expungement clinics in the rural areas because there's a lot of people who can't make it to the city.
Right.
And we've done in Lafayette, we've done in Opelousas. We're looking right now to St. Martinville, Jeanerette, and also Baton Rouge, New Iberia, also Baton Rouge, New Orleans. So we're just trying to get all of those together. But it's the thing about it is there's 1.4 million records that can be expunged in Louisiana and not enough service providers.
So what is your ask? How can people get connected with you? Who do you need to connect with you to help you continue to get folks' records expunged?
Well, what we lean heavily on the local community, where we're not funded by grants, by major grants. We're working on them because we're kind of new to this. So we lean a lot on our state legislature, the mayors that have been very, very generous. So we lean on them and they help with the funding. Also to our national partners who's been amazing, Clean Slate, because their work in 13 states where instead of coming to do all of the petition, I mean, it's automatic. I mean, in Illinois, right, the Governor Pritzker, he just signed it. Over 4 million people automatically got their records expunged.
Wow.
So we need it here.
Yes.
But the political climate's not there yet because, money's tied to agency. But again, as we were talking off camera, I think the best place to start with automatic expungement would be arrest only.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
You know? And I don't know if anyone would be opposed to that. I'm sure they would be, but I think it's a good place to start for automatic expungement.
I really think so because we have to remember, like we were speaking on, you're innocent till proven guilty.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been convicted, you're not guilty.
Right.
So why?
And I agree.
So
I
why
agree.
am I weighed down with these chains?
Right. And I would like to mention something also too. For instance, let's say the same process, if you go to Maryland, right? It's $30. It's not $500, it's $30.
Wow.
And the forms are simpler. There was a professor that said that we had the most complicated expungement system in forms in the United States.
Well, they're not geared toward slavery.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Simply
makes a big difference. As always, our time moves entirely too fast. It goes by so fast.
Thank y'all for having me.
And Kevin, you just keep up the amazing work.
Right. And I would like to say, if anyone wants an expungement clinic in their community, please just contact us, and we'd be happy.
How can they contact you?
Actually, they can contact us on our Facebook page. We get a lot of contacts there. Or they can just call me, and my number is area code 337-224-9084. We also do one-on-ones. We have volunteer attorneys that come to help us out. We have volunteer paralegals that come and help us out, and it's a beautiful experience.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. And we will be back.